It's Quant Trade Edge, and today I wanted to go over an options trade that worked out really well. Made about 10x on some part of it. Took some risk off prior to that, but this trade was in the GDX, which is the gold miners index, and coming into Thursday, so coming into Friday, this is 7 days in which the 2 period RSI was less than 5. And I like that as a short-term indicator of being oversold. And as you can see here, 7 days beneath that. And you can see back here in December, when we had 3 days beneath that, we got this monster rally day. Here, 1 or 2 days, you got a rally day. 1 day, you got a little bounce from there. This one looks a little more heinous, where you kind of had a couple of days relief, so the oversoldness went away. But then by the bottom of this, we got a pretty good push up off of there. So combination of factors, one being that we undercut this low and bounced back, two being 7 consecutive days, three being it's a Thursday, so the casino is open for weekly options. Friday, just kind of a 1 day option, things were extremely cheap. Now, the pattern I use to enter on this is something I call the RSU pattern. It's a play of words on the RSI, the typical 14-period RSI. And basically, when something has been oversold for a while, you wait until you have a bar where the RSI comes in from under 30 to above 30. So in that case, that would be this bar right here. Now that is your trigger bar, or your setup bar. Your trigger bar is when you get a bar that closes above there, and that didn't happen till noon, and it closed at 28.65. So if you go back and look at the last couple of these, like here, this was 30, so like right when we do a strategy of below 30 to above 30, we get one that's right on 30.00. I treated it as below, so this was the first one above, and there was no follow through after that. On this one, this was at 29.78. This was at 29.78, so this one was at 30, and then we didn't get follow through. So it has to be kind of within the next few bars, and I guess that's something I should better quantify. This was 1, 2, 3, fourth bar ahead. Here, you would have gotten the close above over here, but that's literally, between 9:30 and 1:30. That's just a little too much time. So, that was the play. And the $29 calls around here when I bought them were 11 cents. And lo and behold, on Monday, and also part of what was playing in my mind was the fact that we had PPI this morning. The CPI was a little hot, which tanked bonds, which hurt gold as well. And the if you think of the CPI, it's sort of a lagging indicator, because whatever was in the PPI before shows up in the CPI a couple of months later. It's the PPI that is fresh information on what producer prices, what the wholesale people are paying. So so all of that, that was all secondarily in my mind as a theory that, okay, we had a sell off on a bad CPI. We're probably going to have a good PPI, and bonds, currencies, gold, things like that could rally on it. But really, the mechanical part of this is just find something extremely oversold on a Thursday, see if there's a little bit of confirmation Thursday afternoon that it's turning, and there goes your play. So this peaked at 30.22. So that means the $29 call had $1.22 of intrinsic value in it. And since I paid 11 cents, I definitely wanted to dump a large part on the open. I was initially thinking 66 cents because that's where it was trading. But I ended up getting 72 cents, which is just, I guess the open was 72. So, they probably felt bad about giving me less than 72. And then $1.10 for the rest. Then I also had some next week options. On those, I just cut out. I was aiming for a 4x. I think I entered at 30 something cents, and 4x would have been $1.36, and it got to $1.31. So that was close enough for me. I sold it on the way down. Good enough for when you get a gift like that, don't be a dick for a tick. Just take your gift and move on. So anyway, this was a pattern that I did mention in our Discord. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, there it is. At whoops, that's this morning. So yesterday at 1:28 p.m., I like the GDX calls as a flyer. Bought some expiry tomorrow 29, also expiry January 19th 29, and long-term Feb options. Extremely oversold, and now getting the RSU pattern on the 15. So, okay, this is the chart I remember yesterday. I don't know why it's not lining up the same way today, but it got confirmation the immediate next bar. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a 30-minute. That's why. Okay. I've been looking at a 15-minute today, but on this 30-minute, it got the immediate confirmation right there. And I just mentioned how we had all those oversold days. And there just happened to be a P1 also, which that was just a bonus, a P1 on the 15. But that's right, it was a 30-minute chart that I was actually looking at, where we got the test above and the immediate confirmation. And if you look at these last couple of times it tried this bar here, no confirmation. Which bar would this be? This bar here, it took a while to get confirmation, probably that same bar out there. I don't have that part of the chart. So anyway, this is our Discord. We try to break it up. It might be a little complicated. We're still figuring it out, but we have our daily homework here where we post our best setups for the next day. We're building kind of a price action library. We call out our setups, by product, because we figure our members, some of them trade only certain products, so that way it helps keep them in the right spot. And then there's also just this free part to the chat, where people are discussing things, and there's a lot of good conversation going on in the general chat. A lot of charts, a lot of theory being discussed. Sometimes we put in some of the analysis that we're doing, like this was kind of the when CPI came out, just kind of what the 1-minute charts look like. And one of the things that we noticed right away is that crude got above that 1-minute news bar when nothing else did, right? Everything else was way below there, and that sort of foretold some of the coming strength in crude yesterday. But anyway, it's just a great place. Oh, and today we had our first Q&A. It was just a live Q&A with charts. People could ask questions, and we put up, I actually had voice and a live screen up to answer questions. So anyway, if you're interested in that, there'll be a link in the video, and have a good weekend.